all the books in your hand in the same series as the one beside you?
They are, but you don't need to read these in order to read the rest of the series. These are if you want to know a little bit more about some of the characters.
What series is that?
This is Heir to the Crown.
And tell me a little bit about the Heir to the Crown series.
Heir to the Crown is about a young woman who becomes queen of a kingdom and all the stuff associated with that, but it's largely told from the point of view of those around her.
Do you ever hear her inner thoughts?
No, you don't get her inner thoughts. There's one or two scenes that it's just her, but you never actually get inside her head. You only experience her through those people around her.
Why did you choose to do that?
I wanted to tell a tale about the people around the crown, not necessarily the crown itself. There's lots of stories about kings and things.
Are most of your characters, we'll call them secondary characters, reluctant heroes in the Heir to the Crown series?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe way of putting it. I mean, some of them are trained warriors and that kind of thing, but they don't go out seeking glory. They're just trying to get by and do their jobs, and they get involved in a lot of things.
Would you say it's more of a good versus evil setting?
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have any trouble telling the good guys from the bad guys.
Are there a lot of mythical creatures in the series?
A fair number. Actually, in the beginning of the series, there's not a lot of magic. Magic is introduced slowly as you go through the series, so you get to appreciate how magic works as the series progresses. And the main characters in the first book don't even use magic.
I know you like to use the term the big bad, but what's unique about these series, is there more than one big bad?
Yes. There's a whole bunch of not quite so big bads.
So not quite boss level, but...
Yeah, so I'm a big believer that there isn't necessarily good and evil. You know, if you look at history, with a few exceptions, there aren't organizations that are entirely evil. They could be run by evil people, but they're not evil in and of themselves. You know, you think of any war, both sides usually have a reason for going to war. One isn't necessarily evil from their point of view. So a lot of what you see here is sort of infighting, political infighting with different people with different political views and how things should be done. Some are a little more selfish, maybe is a better term rather than evil. But you kind of understand what motivates.
The people who surround the woman who eventually becomes queen, are they her family or are they found family?
It's a found family. The main character in the first book's named Servant of the Crown after the main character, Gerald Matheson. He's an old soldier who basically stumbles across her. I won't give away her background because that's giving away a little too much, but he basically becomes a surrogate father figure to her.
Do you identify with any of the characters in this book? Well, this series?
Yeah, probably mostly like Gerald in terms of his attitude towards things.